Without stomach acid, you're in trouble. You see, you need it to be like battery acid in there. If not, 6 things, bad things, can happen to you in the future. And I want to talk about those in this video. Number 1, your food will ferment. Without the battery acid in that pouch, in this bag right here, the food isn't going to get broken down properly. Now you got chunks of food, and it's going to ferment. And guess what happens when it ferments? It becomes gassy, and it starts shooting back up like a volcano. The medical monopoly calls this acid reflux. If it happens chronically all the time, that's called GERD. Acid reflux, not only does it feel uncomfortable, but if you have GERD and it's happening all the time, now you're setting yourself up to have Barrett's esophagus. And that's essentially where the esophagus gets all burnt up. Some people may even damage their vocal cords. Their voice might even change. If you've ever met someone with a very hoarse voice and they're not a smoker, they probably don't have enough battery acid in that stomach. This is your first line of defense. You eat the food, it goes down the pipe, it goes into a bag of battery acid. It gets broken down, and it slips out in the duodenum, into the small intestine, and so on and so forth. There's an upstairs, and there's a downstairs. The upstairs is supposed to be hot, like fire, to break everything down, and the downstairs is supposed to be alkaline, cool, and calm. That's the way your GI tract is supposed to be. Number 2, if you don't have enough stomach acid, you can't fight off parasites. Now, this is the craze nowadays. Everyone's talking about parasites. Parasites cause this disease. Parasites cause that condition. The truth of the matter is, you will not have parasites if you have battery acid in your stomach. They can't survive. Even if you ate food with parasites present, such as sushi or maybe some raw meat or very rare meat, your stomach acid would neutralize that. The only other way parasites can get in would be through your nostrils, through your eyes, through your private parts. But that's so rare, you'd have to be walking through the jungle for something like that to happen. Here in normal society, it's all about what you eat and how your stomach acid levels interact with what you eat. Number 3 is similar to the parasites, except it's fungus. When you don't have enough battery acid in that tummy, you are not going to neutralize fungal opportunities. And guess what happens when it spreads throughout the body? That's right. You end up with a condition called Candida. And it's not a fun thing to have. Very itchy, very uncomfortable, and very nasty. Like, your toes and your nails get all nasty. At the root, he just didn't have enough stomach acid. Number 4 is in the same vein as parasites and fungus, and it's bacteria. And when the bacteria isn't neutralized by the stomach acid, you can end up with this condition that they call H. pylori. Very easily avoidable. Number 5, if you don't have enough stomach acid, then you're going to send food to the downstairs of your GI tract, the small intestine, that are not broken down properly. So you might have a piece of food that's that big when it's supposed to be nothing. It's supposed to be small particles, but it's really this big. Then, if you don't have proper nutrients for your soft tissue, your intestines can leak these chunks of foods out into your bloodstream. This is a condition called leaky gut. Many times we call this dirty blood because now you have all these undigested proteins floating through your blood. And guess what? Your immune system views that as an enemy. And so it goes after it. And then that manifests into a condition called autoimmune. If it happens in your hands, it's rheumatoid. If it happens to your hair, it's alopecia. If it happens through your entire body, it's called lupus. So there's different types of autoimmune, but at the core, we're right back to leaky gut, and then you back that up a little bit, and we're right back to stomach acid as a root cause to so many different things. And number 6 is obvious. If you don't have enough stomach acid and your GI tract is completely thrown off, you are now susceptible to bad chronic gut conditions such as Crohn's, such as diverticulosis, such as ulcerative colitis. These are conditions that will absolutely destroy your life. And they're very difficult to reverse. They take a long time to reverse because the damage is quite severe in the gut. And because you don't have stomach acid to begin with. So the next time you go to your medical monopoly doctor and they want to prescribe you proton pump inhibitors, you should think twice. Because what that's doing is it's alkalizing the stomach. They're going in the opposite direction. It's the same thing with over-the-counter remedies, Tums, baking soda. That's just going to alkalize the stomach. You don't want to alkalize the stomach. You want to make it like a fire that's burning. So everything that comes down the pipe can be dissolved. How do we do this? Well, if you watch my live streams on Tuesdays, if you have read my books, if you watch my videos, you know this answer. It's salt. It's salt. High quality salt. In my membership, I teach my people to use Celtic sea salt, and it works very well. You see, salt combines with calcium and creates hydrochloric acid. It's a chemistry thing. So sometimes somebody could be using salt and they're still not getting the results because they could be low in calcium. So there's a whole protocol to it, which we have in our membership. I hope that I've shed some light on this topic for you. It's a big topic. And that's why when I do head-to-toe analysis, I always evaluate your stomach acid levels. And we have a whole test for it, and I'm not going to go over that now, but some people are like, oh, why do I have to do this? This is nasty, because it is a nasty test, but you're never going to know unless you get that test inside the analysis. And then you can know, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. That's why I have this symptom and that symptom and that symptom. That's the whole point of what we do, getting to the root causes. If you need my help, www.calldrreese.com. Just calldrreese.com. And I'll talk to you soon.